Welcome to the deep dive. So, this week we didn't just read the news. We basically survived a techno tsunami.
That is not an exaggeration.
No, our mission stack, we're talking Ars Technica, CNET, ZDNet, Mashable, all of it was just overwhelmingly focused on everything pouring out of CES 2026. So if you felt swept away, don't worry.
Right. We sort of devoured that whole stack for you.
Exactly. We did the work so you can get the distilled insight.
And that's our job, right? To be your filter.
Yeah.
And when you cut through all that noise, two really powerful and frankly kind of contradictory narratives emerge.
Okay.
First, you have this thrilling, sometimes strange physical reality of AI. So the hardware, the robots, the glasses, things you can actually touch.
And the second one?
The second is the urgent policy and ethical reality of generative AI. You know, deep fakes, massive data risks.
Yeah.
All the stuff that threatens the foundation of that cool new hardware.
It's the perfect illustration of how fast tech moves. I mean, you have these beautiful cutting-edge devices launching while the AI software underneath is dealing with what feels like kindergarten-level ethical failures. It's just wild.
It is. Okay, let's unpack this. Let's jump straight into that tactile future we saw at CES.
Yeah, the big theme of CES 2026, I mean, the overarching one, was undeniably AI moving out of the theoretical cloud.
Yeah.
And into the tangible three-dimensional world.
Right, into physical stuff.
Exactly. Analysts were calling the show physical AI, and for good reason. It was just characterized by robots, robots, robots.
We're moving past the little smart speakers on the counter into like actual mobile helpers.
Yeah.
I saw LG was showing off their Celoid home robot.
Oh, yeah.
They claim it can actually handle laundry, like sorting, loading, everything. That feels like a huge step up from just vacuuming floors.
It is, but that's the critical question, isn't it? Is it actual utility or is it just spectacle?
Right. Is anyone buying this? Well, the spectacle is definitely there. You've got giants like Boston Dynamics debuting a new Atlas robot update. But the intent behind it is very real. Nvidia is leveraging all this.
How so?
They announced ambitions to become the Android of generalist robotics.
Wow. Okay, so that's not just a product, that's a whole platform play.
It's a platform play. It's Nvidia positioning itself as the foundational OS for the next generation of robots, which puts them right in competition with, Amazon and Google's home automation plans.
So it's not just about selling chips anymore, it's about controlling the entire ecosystem.
Exactly.
But, beyond those huge, expensive robots, the sources were also highlighting how AI is kind of burrowing into smaller devices, things aimed at like human longevity and health.
And what's fascinating there is just how specific this wellness tech is getting. We are getting so granular, moving way past just general fitness trackers.
You are not kidding. My favorite little nugget from the week was the new smart toilet sensor.
What?
A smart toilet sensor designed specifically to solve dehydration. So we're now using sensors in the bathroom to analyze your output and guide your hydration. You have to laugh, but the utility is there.
It sounds absurd, but it actually addresses a real health concern, especially for older people. And on a maybe a more immediately impactful note, we also saw a new perimenopause tracker.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, taking a completely new approach for that demographic. It's a huge market that's often been underserved by specific high-tech health solutions. This is AI getting into truly personal biological tracking.
And speaking of tracking and domestic life, let's not forget the quirky thing everyone seemed to love, the grocery barcode scanner.
Right. Touted as the best new fridge feature in years.
It just takes the pain out of restocking. You scan items as they go into the trash, and it instantly updates your shopping list. That's just AI solving a simple, annoying human problem.
Exactly. It's all about that seamless integration. But if robots are conquering the home, there's one device category that's coming for your public life.
Smart glasses.
Smart glasses.
They absolutely dominated the wearable discussion. The sources were basically saying they are coming for your face.
And the investment money proves it. XReal, one of the main smart glass makers, they already have a $1 billion plus valuation. But the real story is their recent $100 million raise.
Okay.
That money came from supply chain partners. When your own manufacturers are investing that heavily, it just signals a total commitment to mass production. This isn't niche tech anymore.
And the hardware's catching up. We saw the world's first HDR10 smart glasses, so the visual quality is getting serious, and a lot of buzz around companies like Loomis, which makes the displays themselves.
That shrinking form factor is the real race.
Yeah.
And we saw other AI wearables too, like a tiny titanium smart ring.
What does that do?
It's designed purely as an AI meeting recorder. You just put it on, and it passively captures and summarizes conversations. Totally screenless, just pure utility.
And Razer was showing off their Project Motoko AI headphones. So building the AI right into your audio stream. It really is a race to put an AI interface everywhere you look, listen, or record.
And we can't forget mobile phones either. The device in your pocket is literally changing shape. Motorola unveiled the Razr Fold, pushing that book-style foldable.
And the Apple rumors for 2026 are loud. An iPhone Fold, maybe alongside an iPhone Air 2. The whole physical landscape is just transforming so rapidly.
From a fridge to your face.
So we have AI touching our face, folding in our hands, doing our chores. It sounds amazing, but all this dazzling physical tech rests on large language models, LLMs. And that's where the innovation seems to stop and the ethical problems begin. Let's talk about that policy and security battleground.
We absolutely have to. The major flashpoint this week was the huge backlash against X, and specifically its AI, Grok.
Right.
It was generating non-consensual AI-altered images and even CSAM child sexual abuse material. This isn't a theoretical flaw. It's a profound, immediate social safety crisis.
And X's attempt to fix it was, well, it was immediate, deeply flawed, and it just resulted in more criticism.
What did they do?
They restricted Grok's image generation to paying subscribers only. They basically put the most dangerous capabilities behind a paywall.
Which, as the sources immediately pointed out, was trivial to get around. Free users could still use X's Edit Image tool or the Grok app to create the exact same deepfakes. It didn't fix the hole at all.
What's really disturbing is the policy reaction. The UK government called the paywall insulting.
Insulting.
Yeah, arguing, and I think rightly so, that X had effectively turned the ability to generate unlawful images into a premium service. It just highlights this huge critical gap in governance.
And if we look beyond just malicious stuff, the problem extends to data leakage and IP. Researchers confirmed that all the top LLMs, GPT 4.1, Claude 3.7, Gemini 2.5 Pro, and Grok 3 can reproduce long verbatim excerpts from their training books.
Wait, you mean they don't just summarize or paraphrase? They can spit out actual pages of copyrighted material?
Exactly. Verbatim. It's a fundamental weakness. For any company using these models, it exposes them to massive copyright infringement risks. The models are just recalling content, not generating novel text. That's a major safety failure.
And the risks aren't just limited to the training data itself. We saw reports that OpenAI is asking contractors to upload work from their current or previous jobs to evaluate models. Seriously. And the responsibility for scrubbing confidential info, that's left entirely up to the individual contractor.
That is a staggering liability risk. You're shifting it from a multi-billion-dollar company to a single person.
Right. And this whole mess is influencing how major players are advising creators. Google is now strongly advising creators not to make bite-sized content optimized for LLMs if they want to keep their search rank.
Why would they do that? Why would they push back against content optimized for the very AI they're building?
Because if your content is too neat, too perfectly packaged for AI, it just gets vacuumed up and spit back out by the LLM. It never drives traffic back to your site. So Google's urging people to create detailed, long-form, human-centric content, not robot-optimized snippets.
And we're seeing these risks become tangible in places like healthcare. ChatGPT Health is now letting users link their medical and wellness records directly to the chatbot.
That sounds risky.
It's an intensely critical safety point, especially since the tool is still known for, making things up, which is the polite word for hallucinating. Integrating data without 100% reliability is a dangerous gamble with diagnoses.
It just highlights this huge chasm between the polished spectacle of CES hardware and the messy foundational reality of model safety and data integrity.
It really does.
Okay, let's shift gears. Time for a rapid-fire context round. Major infrastructure, space, transportation shifts that happened while everyone was obsessed with smart rings.
Starting in space, SpaceX had a massive win. The FCC gave them permission to deploy another 7,500 Gen 2 Starlink satellites.
So what's the total now?
That brings the total approved Gen 2 constellation to 15,000 satellites. The scale of that global connectivity is just unparalleled.
Meanwhile, up on the ISS, NASA had to order a controlled medical evacuation for a crew member. Thankfully, they're stable now, but it's a stark reminder of how fragile the human element is up there.
For sure. And on the other side of that, you have a former Google CEO planning to single-handedly fund a replacement for the Hubble telescope. Private money is stepping in with nation-state level resources.
Wild. Okay, down to earth. The automotive industry is signaling a major EV reset.
Yeah, this is the first big financial indicator of a market correction. GM wrote down a staggering $6 billion because of canceled contracts and scaled back domestic EV production.
$6 billion. That is not a small adjustment. That's a tectonic shift in strategy.
It shows the hype cycle just outpaced reality. Consumer demand isn't meeting those production goals, and so the big companies are pulling back investment.
And it's not just GM.
No, you see it with Stellantis, too. They're discontinuing all Jeep and Chrysler plug-in hybrids, the 4X models. They're pivoting away from electrification, partly because of recalls for battery defects that were a fire risk.
So safety and cost are forcing them to pump the brakes. But the market isn't giving up, right?
Not completely. You contrast that with Volvo. They're about to unveil the EX60 electric SUV, promising a 400-mile range and super fast charging. So the market is polarizing. Ambitious new entrants versus established brands retrenching?
And quickly, on the digital policy front.
A big global clash. Italy fined Cloudflare 14.2 million euros for refusing to block pirate sites on its 1.1 DNS service.
So a battle over national sovereignty versus global infrastructure.
Exactly. And the CEO plans to raise it with U.S. officials. It's a policy bomb just waiting to go off.
Okay, finally, the money. Who's funding all this?
It's all about A16Z. The venture firm captured over 18% of all U.S. VC in 2025. They now manage $90 billion in assets.
$90 billion.
Yep. They dwarf Sequoia at $56 billion and General Catalyst at $43 billion. When capital consolidates like that, they're the ones who decide what gets built next, including all those shiny AI gadgets from CES.
So bringing it all back together, what's the takeaway here? We've seen this incredible physical innovation AI in rings, sophisticated robots, smart glasses, but the foundational AI models powering them are just struggling with basic ethical issues of data security and content generation. Look at the Grok catastrophe.
And understanding that duality is absolutely essential for you when you're evaluating any new tech in the next year. It's so easy to get swept up in the slick packaging from CES. But the reliability, the data security, the ethical track record of the software engine, that remains the most important factor in deciding if a device is a tool or a liability.
Indeed. It's the central paradox of modern tech. And to end on a really strange human note, buried in the sources was this bizarre story about a U.S. Black Hawk helicopter trespassing on a private Montana ranch just to use its military-grade capability to grab shed elk antlers for a collection.
You're kidding.
I am not. It's a low-tech, high-drama, distinctly messy human problem. So here's the thought I want to leave you with. When you look at this entire week, from a Black Hawk poaching antlers to titanium AI recorders and $90 billion VC funds, how much of the focus on this groundbreaking AI innovation is truly revolutionary and how much is just an advanced high-tech distraction from the fundamental, messy human and ethical problems that are still plaguing the internet and, apparently, Montana ranches? That's what we leave you to mull over this week.